Maybe. Hangout is live. That means we are live. We are going right now.
Okay, cool.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Comics with Bueller. This is our Friday night live stream that we do every Friday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And I am not alone. Not only Bueller is here, I have my buddy. This is Sam from Sam's Tangled Web. Sam, say hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
How
Sam.
You doing? Yeah, hey.
What is... And Sam's got his phone going so he can get the feedback and stuff. You know, he's new to this.
I'm new to this.
That's all right. It's a learning curve.
Yes.
But Sam is local here in Oregon. He also does a YouTube channel.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. I've been trying to get him to make more videos. It's called Sam's Tangled Web.
Yeah.
And he hasn't made a video in like 3 weeks, I noticed.
Yeah.
But
sketchy. I've been sketchy. I've been really weak on the putting the videos out.
That's all right.
So
he'll get better. He likes doing it. I like doing it. But you know, he's my guest, and he is kind of like encyclopedia of Marvel comics, and I always reference him whenever I'm doing some research, and he's never let me down, to be honest with you. So I just want to say thanks, Sam, for joining me tonight.
Yeah, you're welcome. And anything I can do to help, I'm here.
That's right. Let's go ahead and look at the chat. Looks like we got a bunch of people in here right now. And we got Prowler 671.
Hey.
Connie, hello. Bake the Snake. Brett Hess Art. Robert Galvin, of course. He's always in here. One of my favorites. Chad 90 MF Comics. Cool Comics. Becky. Just a lot of really cool people so far. We got 28 people watching.
Okay.
You know, and really, and I was talking to Sam earlier. It's been kind of a weird week.
Yeah, it's been really somber.
Yeah,
week more than usual.
Yeah, and obviously it has a lot to do with Stan Lee passed away, and it's, you know, I was telling him earlier, I was like, I've just felt heavy all week ever since Monday happened.
Yeah.
I just felt very heavy. And, you know, I haven't really been motivated really to do much because it just kind of weighs on you, you know, and it's a loss that
hard to get up out of bed.
It is, you know, I didn't
lose a great person that, you know, they might not be personally in your life, but you have known that person. Anytime you open up a comic book, they're right there.
It's bizarre. So it's one of those weeks that just, I don't know. You know, I was hesitant on pretty much everything I was doing this week because I just kind of sat there with just almost like a black cloud.
Yes.
You know, not that I'm not referencing him as a black cloud. I'm just saying it just seems so, you know, heavy hearted and stuff like going on. So I don't know. It's just hopefully as time goes on, it gets a little bit better and stuff. And I think we all can agree that, you know, we lost a legend this week, and that legend will be here forever.
Oh, yes.
But we just we have a super chat from Robert Galvin, one of my favorites. This is for Sam Bueller. Hello, buddy. Have a question for our comic historian. Who created Submariner and did art and writing for year date art? Who? Do you know this?
Why is people?
I like this.
People put me on the spot. Now
I told you they would.
This is all falls on you here. Okay. Bill Everett wrote Submariner. I don't remember who did the writing or who did the art.
So Bill Everett was the writer?
Well, he was a writer.
Okay.
I knew it was back in late 1930s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got a year, a date, and he's got the writer. That's not bad, I think. The guy knows a little further than I could get.
Yeah.
But let's look in the chat here because my daughter, she's in here. Paige Noakes, that's my daughter. Everybody, hey Paige, love you. I talked to her earlier today. Apple in my eye. It's always nice to see her in here. And just a lot of people. Jam Sessions is in here. William Warner, Enigma, Jeffrey Anderson, Simon Comics. F3RN82.
I saw Wingnuts.
Wingnut, Tigger 74, Bruce Leroy. You name it, man. They're in here tonight. So it's Friday night. We got 42 people watching. And like I was saying, it's just kind of a different night and a different week. And I think like the joy is just kind of on kind of level this week. It's just like
really,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, really, you got to look back and just.
I feel like I'm in a funk.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I think really we just have to all look back and say we should be so grateful that we had all those great stories that Stan wrote, for everybody, and this is, what a life he had.
Exactly. And it could never be matched, I don't think.
That's true.
But we're going to jump into Stanley a little bit later. We're going to talk about our picks of the weeks really quick. And then we don't have very many. I only got to read a couple books this week, but I will share some of mine first. I'll let Sam share his when I'm done. Okay. And so I got I meant to read this one. I didn't get to it. And Sam knows I was trying to get this earlier.
Yeah.
And I didn't read it, but I love the cover. It's definitely one I'm probably going to read later tonight. That's the new Flash, number 58. But a couple new ones I did read.
Oh, my.
Let's go. That. Okay.
No.
The Black Order, number 1. And I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a lot of fun. And there's some comedy in this book. And I don't like giving stuff away. But it's got the Black Order, all the members. And
you wouldn't think there'd be comedy in a book.
Yeah,
the Black Order.
Yeah, I was surprised. This guy right here, he's contemplating whether he's funny or not, and I thought that was kind of funny. So anyway, I enjoyed that book. And then my pick of the week was by Boom Studios, Firefly, number 1. They just got the rights to Firefly, one of my favorite TV shows. You ever watch this one?
I've watched the whole season many times.
You watched the whole 11 episodes.
Yeah.
Of long season, but just a great book. This book takes place in between the TV show and the movie Serenity. So somewhere in between what was ever going on in the middle there. So that's where this book takes place. And this is an ongoing series from what I was told.
What I've heard. Yeah. And, you keep talking good things about it. I might have to pick it up too.
There you go. A great book. So if you haven't checked this one out, this is probably my pick of the week. And then I have a cover of the week, and I just picked this one up. I had to go to a different shop to find it. This is Domino, number 8, the great Morbius or Morbius. How do you pronounce it?
Morbius.
Great Morbius cover. That's also going to be my cover pick of the week. Just really like that one. So there you go.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a book missing from mine, which is Uncanny X-Men number 1. Oh. I haven't got my copy because there is a local comic book shop day one that's available tomorrow, and I'm holding off till that one comes out, and I'm it's waiting for me at my local shop.
A little quirky, a little weird. That whole thing.
But so that's why I'm not showing that book. But anyway, those are my picks of the week. I'm gonna hand it over to Sam, and Sam, make sure you speak up so that everybody can hear us. That we got a great microphone,
great microphone.
So let the people know what you got, my friend.
Okay, hey everybody, I got this. Amazing Spider-Man number 9. I picked up the variant cover, to what they had. This was a great book. I thought, this is a second part of a story called The Heist.
Mm-hmm.
And
I read number 8. I like number 8.
Did you like number 8? Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happening here. I look forward to how this all plays out. So. Okay.
Very cool.
Okay. And then next, gotta go with Fantastic Four number 3. This is everybody who has ever been a member of the Fantastic Four are gathered to face this great threat, and some interesting things in this one. Iceman pops up in this one. I'm like, when was he a Fantastic Four guy? But apparently it's an untold tale. Maybe they're going to tell it one day.
Very cool.
But it's very, very cool. And I'm looking forward to the rest of Fantastic Four.
Nice. Brett Hess says Fantastic Four rules.
It does rule.
Let's see. There's another comment. Which book do you have next? What book?
I have my.
Okay. I was going to save that comment. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I know this is picking up steam. This Immortal Hulk.
Yeah. And this is your pick of the week, isn't it?
This is my pick of the week. I mean, look at that. The Hulk is just in many parts in these jars, and these scientists that are just experimenting. They want to know what makes him tick. I don't want to give anything away, but
Immortal Hulk has been great. The whole this run of Hulk. This is issue 8. It's been a good run. I don't know if anyone's been reading Immortal Hulk, but I think that's probably one of the better ones from the relaunch.
Have you read most of it?
I've read a few, half of them so far.
Okay, because it's very good.
Yeah,
and it's looking like it's gonna be really good for the foreseeable future on this.
Yeah,
too. So. And then my cover of the week.
So this is where I wanted to. Somebody left a comment.
What they say
in here about this one, and I lost it now. But from Heroes to Icons says X-Men is nonsense with that price tag. Okay,
yeah.
So this is his right here.
Okay, I picked up the variant Dave Cockrum cover. And it's got the back cover.
Mm-hmm.
And the price tag on this sucks.
Yeah.
But let me tell you that the story in here is, I don't know.
He did not like this book.
I love the cover though.
He likes the cover, so it's the cover of the week.
Which is.
But Sam did not like the book, and I haven't got it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I like it. Maybe you'll like it more than me.
I don't know why. Probably not, because our other buddy said he didn't like it either. So I don't know. Everybody probably.
It's not looking good.
A lot of people probably read the new X-Men book. So if you've read it, let me know in the chat here, guys, and let me get your thoughts on X-Men.
Yeah. The
new X-Men. Reviews are mediocre. That's what from Boy Cardero says.
Yeah.
Wingnut says story wasn't the best. Jeffrey Anderson, I love this Nightcrawler pop and on.
Yeah,
Nightcrawler
just popped up and then he was disappeared.
Well, now I don't need to read it.
Yeah. Nightcrawler's your favorite?
No, but
I wanted to see some Wolverine in there.
Then he's not in there.
He's not even close to getting there. No, not even Colossus.
Didn't his marriage fall through?
Yeah.
Let's see. Double S comic reader says comics with Bueller, aka Mr. Tingles. That's an old reference there, Double S comic reader. But it's a good one. Tingle. If anyone knows what he's referring to, that was on one of my older videos. Do you know what that's from? He doesn't know. No. Brett Hassart says Venom was awesome this week. I heard that as well. I heard Venom was really good.
Comic book?
Yeah. So I need to get that one. I have it actually. I don't think I've looked at it. Let's see. John Valencia. Did I say that right? I don't know. What's up, Bueller? How you doing, John?
Yeah.
So before we go on, I wanted to talk to you guys. And last week, if you're in my stream, I was talking about my vest and wanting to do something with people who do the super chat, and just to kind of give them recognition type thing, and just a nice memory to have. And so one thing I've done, and I talked about writing the names of people who have done super chat on my vest. Now I have started doing that, and it's kind of cool. I don't know if you guys can see this, but all those, can you see it there? Don't look at the screen. Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So those so far are all the names of people with the dates that have done super chat. So I think it's kind of cool. Yeah. I was trying to think of something I can do, and I'll try to fill up the whole vest. I think that would be awesome, And even
pockets? You can get in there in the pockets. You can start.
I don't know. I mean, even if I don't ever get another super chat, it's awesome because just for people to, want to do something like that. I think I've said this before. It's just, it's kind of it's I don't really know how to handle it. To be honest, it's weird.
Is it? You just kind of thrust in the spotlight like a
no, it's not that. It's just like I've never had like people on here's the money, type thing. And it's like,
you're doing a good thing here on YouTube. And
you're doing a good thing.
What do you mean? What am I doing?
I don't know. He's just sitting next to me, drinking my pop and eating my food.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's something I thought about doing. And I think it's pretty neat. I got a nice permanent silver marker. And as time goes on, you know, might be able to fill up the vest. And who knows, I might have to get a new vest. So that might be the case. So anyway, I just want to let you guys know that the Super Chat vest, somebody called it the Super Chat vest, is alive and well.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
Where did you get that snazzy vest at?
The vest is from my one of my renters gave it to me.
Is that leather?
It's leather. Yeah. It's a biker vest.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And it's pure leather, man. I don't know. It's probably worth some bucks, you know.
Yeah.
But she gave it to me, so I was like, you know, I was just sitting in my closet, and like I said before, the only reason I wore it is because I look kind of fat.
Yeah.
And
no, I didn't. I'm not gonna agree with you.
He agreed really quick. Boom. Yep, sure do. And no, I look kind of chubby in one of my videos, so I'm like, well, I'll put this on, and I look a little slimming and stuff, and it's kind of been my thing ever since.
Hey, we got a super chat.
We did. Said Robert Gowan, what is Sam's favorite of all time and why? And thank you, buddy. Oh, that's a good question. We're actually going to get to that here in a little bit, because we're actually going to cover some creators and artists, and in honor of Stan Lee, and talk about some of the people that he did some work with and influence and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get into that now. Okay. So just to step back, everyone's all aware, you know, that obviously Stan Lee passed away on Monday of this week. And, you know, there's been so many things out there about StanLee. It's just great to see all the, you know, memorials and stuff.
Outpouring of people.
Yeah.
From all walks of life. I mean, I see Paul McCartney, you know, just a whole bunch of people just out of the blue, just posting stuff and putting videos up and you know, interviews. It's awesome. And
some honestly, you know, I'm like looking for these other things. I'm finding great old interviews I never saw before because they're popping up in searches quite a bit quicker now. And I've seen some just great ones I've never seen. And there was like one quote, I think, did I tell you about the quote about the digital comics?
Oh, yeah.
So this is, I think this is true, but apparently he's quoted as saying, and this is just great, and this is Stan Lee at his best. He quoted, somebody asked him about digital comics one time, and he told the person or whoever it was, he said, digital comics are like boobs. They look good on a computer, but I'd rather hold one in my hand.
Oh, hey, look who's in the chat.
I don't know.
Sheila, my lady.
Sheila Thompson. Is that your mom?
No. She's she's my lady from Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, right on. So, hello, Sheila.
Hey, Sheila.
But anyway, that is a quote that I just really enjoy. I thought it was very charming, you know, and I could totally see him saying that to someone. I don't know if it was a written quote or an actual audio quote. But I think he's right on the money.
I think the majority of his later quotes have been spoken, not, you know, because.
So if you guys have heard that quote, which is a good one, let me know, because I think it's really good. Okay, so all sorts of stuff that's been out there this week about him. All positive. You see all these tweets and stuff like that from all the people that he's influenced. And it's just great. It's unfortunate we lost one of our grandfathers or founding fathers.
Yeah, he is like a grandfather. To the comic book community. Definitely.
Most definitely. And he's definitely the guy in front.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anyone else who just put his name and face out there to be the spokesperson for the.
Just out there, just telling everybody, hey, these are great things. Comic books are a good thing, you know.
That's right. Yeah. And from day one, you know, he was actually, from what I understand, he was a little hesitant when he first started about telling people that he was a comic book writer.
That was back before the big Fantastic Four and everything took off.
Yeah.
This is, I think it was probably back in the 50s or so.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of a thing where I guess people would kind of look down on people who wrote like the funny books, as it were.
Yep.
So.
Economics and Comics says, quote, to live by. He's referring to the Stan Lee one.
Yeah.
That is a great quote to live by.
Quote.
Al, Red Sox fans in here. How's it going, Al? Good to see you, buddy. So we're going to share some of the books. We kind of grabbed some books that Stan Lee, some Stan Lee books that he wrote and everything. And we're just going to kind of share. Let's see. So we have Stan Lee, a Fantastic Four. This is number 125.
Yeah.
This is Stan Lee and
I'm gonna go ahead and say John Buscema.
John Buscema? I don't know. Maybe. He did a lot of work with Kirby on on Fantastic Four and stuff. But
that is
this is one I was looking for my Fantastic Four. You know, obviously he created Fantastic Four.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and hopefully we get a good movie eventually.
I think we will.
I hope so.
I have a good feeling.
One of Stan's favorite characters, and he actually wrote this book as well, Silver Surfer.
It was one of his more. He really liked.
No, he didn't create Silver Surfer.
He and Jack Kirby.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was someone else. No. Okay, yeah, I think.
But he really liked.
I'm not going to challenge you.
No, okay. but he really liked the Silver Surfer because he got to really express how he felt about peace and how human beings should be.
I heard that for a time he wouldn't let anyone else write Silver Surfer. Is that a thing? Might be a thing. I don't know.
Might be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It was his favorite. Economics Comics says it was his favorite. That's what I thought. Another one, Daredevil, Stan Lee. Stan did Daredevil. He came up with Daredevil.
He did.
Yeah. So another great Stan Lee book, Daredevil character. Very cool. You like Daredevil?
Oh yeah.
He's
blind.
That's the thing that he liked to give characters like
a
challenge.
Yes.
Okay, and not like a villain challenge, but like just a personal life challenge type
because
thing.
Back in the day, you had DC, their superheroes were just over the top. They were superheroes.
Yeah.
They didn't really have like something going on in their personal lives.
Yeah.
So what he did was he did like a thing where he would put a
blind man,
or Peter Parker was having bad times in school or something and stuff like that.
Yep. Let's see. We'll save those ones for later. Another great character he created from Captain America.
One of the first black people.
Yeah. Well, black superhero.
Black superhero. Yeah.
People have been around a long time, Sam.
Oh yeah.
But the Falcon, one of his creations and stuff, just an awesome character. One of my favorite characters. This book actually I picked up just a few months ago.
Yeah.
I've been wanting this one for a long time because he's one of my favorites. So, but Stan Lee, that's one of his. Okay. Awesome. And this is a very easier book to obtain.
From the 80s.
This is from the 80s. Yeah. And this is the Mighty Thor. And obviously he wrote Thor years and years ago.
5.
Yeah. But this is a great Hulk and Thor match.
Anytime you got Thor against a Hulk, it's going to be awesome. And then you would have Stan Lee writing that. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Jeffrey Anderson says that was the first black superhero. Was Falcon the first black superhero? I'm not sure.
I think he predates Black Panther.
Does he?
Yeah.
I think so. I think you're right.
But not by too much because Black Panther came along pretty quick. So.
Black Panther is another good one.
Yeah. Jack Kirby.
And speaking of other, here's a green. A green.
One of my favorite female superheroes.
Yep. Love She-Hulk. This is stories by Stan Lee. One of his creation. Not the first green superhero.
No.
But there's not many.
That would be his cousin.
Yeah. Her cousin. There you go. Very cool. Another great creation. And then the next ones are all just some great books from probably his most well-known creation, which is Spider-Man. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 100. Who's he with on here?
That's John Romita.
John Romita. He did a lot of work with John Romita. A lot of great work with John Romita. Is John Romita one of your favorites?
Oh, yeah. Easily top 5.
Yeah.
Of Spider-Man or anybody.
Very cool. And let's kind of go through here. trying to pull ones that are special. They're all special. Here's number Amazing Spider-Man number 42.
That's a good one.
And this is a good one. This is John Romita.
Yeah.
And Stan Lee. And this is the first appearance of someone special. Sam, come on.
Hey, this would be the first appearance of. Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Is this Gwen Stacy?
No.
No, who is it?
It's the other one.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
No, wait, this is not the first Mary Jane.
This is too the first appearance of Mary Jane. This is where she meets Peter Parker. And she says
behind flower pots in the Steve Ditko.
Flower pots. You know what? This is where she meets Peter Parker. This is where she says, "Face it, Tiger, you hit the jackpot."
Yes, she does say that.
The flower pots don't count. Well, this is it.
Okay.
At least for me. People are going to argue with me, but that's all right. And then another great one, Amazing Spider-Man number 41.
Yeah.
Another John Romita. And this is the first appearance. One of my favorite villains.
Oh, yeah.
Rhino. Always loved Rhino. Hated Rhino in the Spider-Man movie.
Horrible.
What was that? It was like a transformer.
Yeah.
It was stupid. And then we're going to go with this one right here. Amazing Spider-Man number 40. Another great book.
Definitely.
Okay, who's on this one?
Stan Lee, John Romita.
Stan Lee, John Romita. Okay, just a great combo.
Yeah.
On Amazing Spider-Man, and they teamed up a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
But this is probably my favorite Spider-Man book in my collection. It's iconic cover, and it's Amazing Spider-Man number 33. And this is you know who this one is?
That's the Master Planner story.
Yeah.
And Steve Ditko.
Steve Ditko. Yeah. And here's the thing. This book is very special. We obviously lost both of those gentlemen this year.
Yes, we did.
And both obviously Stan Lee just this week, and then Ditko
back in like June,
just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, both the creators of this book, like I said, it's one of my favorite books, if not my most favorite. We lost them both this year, and it's really unfortunate, but just an iconic cover and great storyline.
Yeah,
you know,
amazing.
And they try to recreate this a few times in the movies and stuff like that.
I mean, it shows the perseverance. Spider-Man will not quit when he's.
So let me ask you, since you're my historian type guy,
okay.
So who would you think is Stan Lee's best artist that he worked with for Spider-Man?
Gotta go with John Romita.
Gonna go with Romita.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just like Romita better. You're gonna take it right out of Ditko's hands.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta do that, but it has to be done.
I'm gonna go with Ditko.
Really?
Yeah. I just showed you my favorite book. Of course, I'm gonna go with Ditko. You know.
But no, hey.
Now he's gonna what?
No, I wanted to add. Okay.
I say Ditko. There you go. Batman, father of Damien, says I say Ditko. Hey, Mr. Girl, how you doing?
But you've read? So I suppose that you've read all the Stan Lee Steve Ditko.
No, I haven't. But look at this guy.
What?
No,
you haven't read them all.
Not like you. He's got a Marvel hat on. He's got a Marvel shirt.
Right.
And
is this gonna be the first walk off? No, just kidding.
Hey, I'm giving you a ride, man. What are you talking about?
That's true, you are.
But no, I would. For me, it's just Ditko.
Okay, yeah.
But nothing against
Romita,
you know. Yeah. But for me, if I had to choose one, it'd be him. So why do you say Romita?
I mean, growing up back then, you know, grew up as a little kid back in the late 70s, early 80s. You know, bath towels and posters, all Romita stuff. I mean, I grew up on that. You know, I mean, it's just Marvel Tales. I was checking out those Romitas. You know?
I think the bottom line is we're both very well treated to some great story writers and artists.
We were
for Amazing Spider-Man.
Way lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got another super chat from my buddy. You met this guy, Damon Lenzen.
Right.
You know, he's got his phone right there with the chat, and then I got a whole screen right here that's literally like a foot-long screen with the whole chat, and he's peeking on his little 3-inch phone to see it. Why do you think this is here? This is set up for it. Use the screen.
I know.
But thank you, Damon. Like I said, you met Damon before. He's a good guy.
Yes. Yeah.
So I wrote down some notes, and I just want to go over some other things. Like Stan Lee, he wrote Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And Thor and Daredevil. I mean, the list goes on and on. Yeah. Who would you say were some of his other best accompanying artists that worked with him?
Okay. Well, you had, Steve Ditko. Up there.
Oh, wow. I heard that name before.
But you had Jack Kirby for the longest time on a few things.
Now, let me ask you this. Okay. So, obviously, him and Kirby had a falling out.
Yeah.
And this is we're not breaking news or anything like that. But from what I heard, they patched things up before, or they somewhat patched things up before Kirby.
I heard about that too.
Passed away. And you know what? I wasn't aware of everything as far as them. I knew of everything what was said, or at least reportedly said. And like I said, none of us are privy to be behind closed doors and when those conversations happen.
Yeah.
But it was nice to know that they did kind of clear things up before Kirby passed away.
Yeah.
And, I like that. I like that because business is a whole nother world. And I couldn't even begin to understand any of that stuff, the creative minds and stuff. And I think it's an argument that doesn't need to be, doesn't really need to be mentioned anymore when you think about, all three of the gentlemen that were in the argument or whatnot have graced us with all the stuff that they've done.
Yes.
And they've now passed. And the best thing to do now is just remember what they gave us.
Oh, yeah.
And just be thankful for all that good stuff. But it was nice to know that they patched things up.
Yeah. I heard that they, met a couple times at some conventions in the 80s. And they shook hands and were friendly with each other.
That's good. And then, I know, like Ditko, when Ditko passed away, I did some other research on Ditko.
Yeah.
And I was he was such a recluse.
Yes.
And that's one thing I didn't really know for sure. And then I found information. He was kind of like a guy who punched the clock, did his thing. And when the day was over, he went and that was it.
Yeah.
And that's the way he liked it. Yeah. He preferred it that way. He didn't want, it's a 180 from Stan Lee. Stan Lee lived it and breathed it. And every time he was out, he was the face of comics or face of Marvel / comics in general. And Ditko was different. He was like, I'm going home and doing my thing. I'm good.
Yeah. When I would open up a comic book, and I would see it said Stan Lee presents, I knew I was in for a good time. And when I saw that he was writing a book, I'm like, I knew it was going to be full of energy and excitement. And that's what he really brought.
He did. So. He definitely did. You can definitely tell without even knowing the name of the writer, you could tell it's a Stan Lee book, just by the writing. You don't need to see the title of the writer of the book to know if Stan Lee wrote the book. I think that's something that if you've read enough Stan Lee books, you can identify them right away.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about some of the other people that have worked with him. Okay. And that he's influenced and stuff like that, and some other creators and writers, because that's initially what we were going to talk about in this episode was just our favorite creators and our favorite writers and everything. And we got some other books, and Stan Lee worked with all these guys, or influenced them or whatever, and maybe not a direct way, but somehow type thing. So, I wanted to show one of my favorites storylines, and this is Secret Wars. And this is by Jim Shooter and
Mike Zeck.
Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck's great. Yeah. But this is Jim Shooter was editor-in-chief of Marvel. And I bring this book up because I had the opportunity to speak with Jim Shooter earlier in the year, and I posted that interview online, and I actually asked him about Stan Lee's health at the time, and he was worried, but one thing I took from that interview, I know you probably just watched it.
Yeah,
but he kept telling me, he's like, Stan loves his fans. And he loves doing it. And if he could do it for the rest of his life, he would do it type thing. Yeah. And I thought that was really neat because, I mean, even though he was overworked and being pushed way further than he should, I don't think at any time he was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I think he would do it, you know, every day of his life, you know, and stuff, and wouldn't regret any bit of it. So that's one of my favorite books, one of my favorite storylines. And Jim Shooter, you know, he was nice enough to talk to me for some reason, so that was kind of cool.
He's good. Seems like a really good guy.
Yeah, he's all right. He was a little rough, I guess, but I thought, I mean, when he was the editor-in-chief, he was a little rough, but he did institute a bunch of stuff that benefited the creators and stuff like that, which I thought were pretty cool.
He kept everything tightly knit.
He did.
And stuff. Yeah.
Tight ship.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Another one of my favorite storylines is the Amazing Spider-Man. Another, you know, Stan Lee creation. This is number 294. This is part 5 of the Kraven's Last Hunt. Kraven's Last Hunt. Another great story. That's a 6-part series. Yeah. It crossed over from Amazing Spider-Man to Spectacular Spider-Man to Web of Spider-Man. Yeah. And who did this one?
That would be J.M. DeMatteis and Mike Zeck.
See, he is, guys, I can ask him anything, and he'd tell me if it's Marvel. I ask him a DC question, and he thinks you're talking about Washington, D.C.
There's a little bit of DC stuff I know.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite storylines. Was that one of yours?
Yeah, I've read it many times.
Yeah, it's one of the best. There's another set of artist and writer combo, one of my favorites. This is Wolverine number 1. This is Frank Miller and Chris Claremont. Chris Claremont's one of my favorite writers. Yeah. You know, for doing the X-Men for all those years and stuff. But probably one of the better They didn't work together much.
No.
But this was a great set, and for the time that
Frank Miller kind of did a lot of his own stuff there, but
he's kind of a weird guy.
Could be a set.
Yeah, but that one's pretty good. And speaking of Chris Claremont, this is Uncanny X-Men number 130. And who came up with the X-Men?
Who came up with the X-Men? Stan Lee.
That's right, Stan Lee. Yeah. I looked a list of the characters that he is involved in creating. It is enormous. It is page after page after page.
It is the building blocks from which all these modern superheroes are from.
It's insane. It is insane how many people were on that list. Yeah. But this is Chris Claremont and
that would be John Byrne.
John Byrne.
You put me on the spot.
I told you I'm putting you on the spot. Chris Claremont and John Byrne, another great team. They worked a lot on Uncanny X-Men. How many would you say they did?
Who, John Byrne and Chris Claremont?
Yeah.
Together?
Well, for one, Chris Claremont wrote the thing for like 20 years.
Yeah. But together they did I want to say it was like 30, 35 issues, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Good team up. Did they work on anything else? Do you know?
Marvel Team Up.
Marvel Team Up. The guy knows his stuff.
Oh, and Iron Fist.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Sam? We're not even looking at the chat, but I need to look at the chat because I'm probably missing some questions from Sam.
Off, buddy.
McFarlane is one of the list of the Spider-Man. Gotta love his Spider-Man stuff. So Batman, the father of Damien, is talking about Spider-Man, and that's another one. Now, this is a title that's written and drawn by the same guy.
Definitely.
Let's just say it's drawn because the artwork for Spider-Man, the character that was created or co-created by Stan Lee. And this is the one that Todd McFarlane did. He drew it and he wrote it, and the story is not great, and he's gotten better as time has gone on.
Yeah, it seems.
But for the most part, he's known for his artwork, and that's just a great book.
And the spaghetti webbing.
I heard they didn't want him to do that.
I don't know. But I heard that Stan liked it when he saw it.
He should. I like seeing pictures of them together.
Stan and Todd.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple of them together. Yeah. And because when I think about creators that are creators from our generation, okay, like I grew up in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, as far as my teenage years and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's Stan Lee and these guys that we know of. But as far as creators that were like starting to create in my time, it was Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
It was
Jim Lee.
Jim Lee. It was the foot guy.
Oh, Rob Liefeld.
I just say the foot guy. Rob Liefeld. Okay.
Mark Silvestri.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the new kids on the block. Okay. There's a nice little 80s or 90s reference right there.
They pretty much took it over there for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those guys, to me, were the guys I was reading at the time, and maybe I wasn't familiar with Chris Claremont as much because he started before I really kind of got into comics. And then I went back and started reading those comics and stuff and realizing who the artist and writer were. Yeah. But as far as who I can relate with is Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, stuff like that. Yeah. Those are guys from my time frame. Is there anyone I'm missing from that era?
Mark Bagley.
Mark Bagley, yeah.
Ron Lim.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him from Silver Surfer?
No.
You don't remember him from Silver Surfer?
Come on, man.
He did some of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay, I got you.
He did some Captain America. Yeah. And then you had Lee Weeks from Daredevil. You had
Jim Starlin.
Paul Ryan did Fantastic Four.
Jim Starlin doing his Thanos stuff.
He did Thanos stuff in the 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Infinity War, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We got Samantha Branch. Hello, Samantha. Nice to have you in here. Roger Heller and Gotham City Comics. Guys, it's just the chat is going, so it's kind of hard to see everything. Jim Lee Sketchers. Looks like we got about 60 people right now. We've had up to like 75, I think. This is another one of my favorite books. And this is another Archie Goodwin and Gene Coleman. This is Iron Man, Submariner #1. This is another great team. I think Robert asked us earlier about Submariner. And this is, this is not like the first Submariner by any means, but this predates his solo series that he did, and same with Iron Man as well. But another great combo that worked good together. Yeah. And then we have another Back to Amazing Spider-Man and 129, and another nice combo with Conway and
Ross Andrew.
Ross Andrew.
Yeah.
And who else?
What do you mean?
I'm just messing with you. But another great artist and writer combo for an iconic book and stuff like that. There's so many other things that are out there that it's like we wrote down a list because we were just kind of trying to think of all the things that Stan has had his influence in. And go ahead, you got some stuff to share.
I got some stuff too, because when I was growing up, I would read some of these Marvel Tales that would reprint some of the old Stan Lee and John Romita stuff, and I'd be reading some of those, and I grew up on that. And then also there was the remember the Spider-Man newspaper in the cartoon in the newspaper print. Stan Lee did that for like a long time there. Anytime you would watch a Spider-Man cartoon during the 80s, you'd see something Stan Lee presents. It'd be in the books. Anytime you knew Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Fantastic Four is going to be excitement because you didn't know what was going to happen.
So, Robert, so what's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Of what?
What's your favorite character and what's your favorite team?
What? Oh, wow. Why do you have to go there? Okay.
Because it's a live stream and I would put you on the spot.
Okay, live stream. Go with it. My favorite character, at one time I would have said the Incredible Hulk when I was a little kid. But I have to go with Spider-Man overall. And the team I'd have to go with would be Fantastic Four.
I kind of figured that.
Yeah.
So, that's a good thing.
Just me. And, I have I have a Ben Grimm group on Facebook, so I'm a fan of.
That's right.
Big guy.
He got a bunch. He does a lot of Facebook groups that are pretty cool. There's one called Tangled Web or Spidey's Tangled Web.
And also, I just became administrator of a new Facebook group called the Stanley Appreciation Group.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So
I think I got a notice about that.
Yes, you did. I sent it to you.
I was going to say something else, but you have the Hulk one.
Hulk Smash Fest. Spider-Man's Tangled Web, Tangled Web, and then Ben Grimm, something. Oh,
you're asking me? You should know. You're the creator of these.
Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And I have a wrestling group too.
And he has a wrestling group. Yeah. He's got a lot of groups. Apparently, you can make groups on Facebook.
You can do anything.
That's good. So what else you got there? I saw you got some more notes there.
Well, I just wanted to mention, there was a reprint comic book called Marvel's Greatest Comics, and that would reprint the old Fantastic Four comics. And I remember really getting into that when I was a little kid, reading some of those Stan Lee, Jack Kirby stuff, and I was like, man, these guys are incredible. With the art and the way Stan Lee would just put humongous words. I was like, what does this word mean? I gotta figure out what this means. I'm a little kid. I don't know what ambiguous means or all these fancy words. So they'd all start with the same letter too.
Yeah,
that too. And it would really make you want to sit down and figure out stuff. And Stan Lee really was awesome with the words.
So I want to ask the people in the chat, because we got a little over 60 people watching. So go ahead, and I want to know who your guys' favorite Stan Lee creation is. Obviously, like we said earlier, there's pages and pages of stuff that he created or had his hand in creating. So go ahead and let us know who some of your favorite characters or teams, you can do a team as well, that he had his hand in creating, and we'll kind of go through that list here. The Great Legend says Fantastic Four, no surprise there. Hey, he's a big Fantastic Four fan. I think he has almost every one of them. You know that?
Oh yeah, he had videos showing them off.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very cool. Dr. Bong? I don't know who that is. Hey, Barbarian Kung Fu. Thor. Jody changed says Thor. BPRD says Thor.
Yeah, Thor.
Silver Surfer helped Robert Galvin learn how to read. The Destroyer by Big Will. And there's so many. Any of the cosmic beings. That's all. Yeah. I mean, he definitely took it from in the outer space.
Talking about Thor there. Yeah. I mean, I was never a fan of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But in the Thor books, they'd always do the these and thous.
Yeah.
But it was cool because they were hitting each other as they were doing.
So Wingnut says the Punisher. I don't think that's one of Stan's.
No,
that's Jerry Conway. And then below Absolute Zero says Thanos. That's Jim Shooter, or not Jim Shooter, Jim Starlin.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Fin Fang Foom. That's a good one. I like that one.
Awesome one.
Spider. That's from Jam Session. John Moran says Spider-Man. Creature says Thor. Wingnut Avengers. There you go. Avengers. Pages, Films, and Plastic. My absolute favorite is Doctor Strange. So he did that with Steve Ditko. Yeah. So that was a great.
That was awesome.
Great artwork. Great everything. I haven't
read all the Doctor Stranges, but I've read good chunk.
Bobby says Thor. Growing up, it was Hulk.
Yeah.
The original Defenders. I love the Defenders.
Oh, yeah, Defenders.
I love the Defenders. Spider-Man and X-Men from Samantha Branch. X-Men is probably my favorite group is the X-Men or team.
Chris Carlin.
Yeah.
Burn.
Yeah, it would be them. It wouldn't. It would, because that was more my time.
Yeah.
But that's always my favorite. Marvel. Pages, Film, Plastic, Change My Mind. Hulk. Okay. Doctor Doom. Oh yeah. What about some? That's a good one. What about some of the villains?
Let me tell you something.
What are some of your favorite villains that he created? Because he made a lot of villains.
I know a lot of people don't want to believe this here.
Uh-oh.
But guess what? I'm going to drop some knowledge on you right now, people. Okay. Anyway, don't laugh. Listen, Dr. Doom, he was created before Darth Vader, and he was the reason Darth Vader was how he is.
There you go.
Why are you laughing? Why is that so funny?
It wasn't what you said. It was just, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you.
Well, come on. You need that good laugh.
Oh, that's funny, man.
You need a good laugh over here.
Come
on.
That makes me feel good. You know what? And just doing this, talking,
getting it out.
It makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have you here as well.
Yeah.
Jam session spit takes are the best. I didn't spit, but it was coming up there. Pages. A lot of people say Doom, Dr. Doom. Yeah. Magneto. J. Jonah Jameson. That's a good. What do you think? You think he's a villain?
He, in his own way.
Yeah.
He hates Spider-Man and he does anything he can to stop.
All right, Sam. There's another super chat from Robert Gavin. He's looking on his phone. It's right there.
Cool. And back and so bad. What to see, Dr. Doom? Well, yes, very cool. Love it.
Dr. Doom.
I
want a good movie. We want to see him in a good movie.
I mean, those first two Fantastic Four were okay.
They weren't bad. I mean, they weren't good. But forgettable, I guess.
It's time to step up and make the definitive Dr. Doom.
Below Absolute Zero said he dropped the knowledge like dropping a hot deuce.
Hey, what? I'm not gonna go there.
That's too funny.
Wow.
Sam is killing it tonight. Sam should co-host every week.
See? They love me.
Mysterio. That's in there. Let's see. Mysterio.
That's one of my favorite.
I'm sorry, villains. You got me all flustered here.
One of my favorite Spidey villains, Mysterio. Yeah.
Bobby says can't decide on the favorite villain. That's all right. Like I said, there's so many. I mean, if you had to guess how many people he created, created and co-created.
Just right now.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it. I'm gonna go with 689.
I think you're probably wrong, but I don't know the answer either, so I might be right.
Can you at least go with me here?
He's absolutely right. He's right on the money.
Who?
What'd you say again?
689.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Now you're just playing up.
Maybe a little. Kingpin.
Oh my gosh,
Kingpin.
I mean, the guy.
That's a great villain.
He doesn't look like he should be anything special, but he's given Daredevil and Spider-Man runs for their money.
I'm telling you. I gotta tell you, what do you think Stan liked doing better, villains or heroes? Because the villains the heroes were great, but the villains,
the villains were the thing that really sweetened up the storyline.
He said something one time about villains.
What did he say?
I can't remember the quote, but he's like, your hero is only as good as or maybe it's vice versa, as good as the how bad the villain is, or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay, I don't know exactly the quote, but it's something in that matter.
But man, his Dr. Doom, the way he spoke, I mean, he was awesome.
Well, that one, awesome. We forgot that one.
Doc Ock,
Dr. Octopus.
Oh my gosh,
that's a good one.
Crazy, awesome.
It gives short. Oh well, you're kind of.
What do you mean? What are you gonna say about me? I'm short.
You're shorter
than you.
But like chubbier guys, like the ability, because I'm chubby.
Yeah, and
you're short.
And I don't have
I can be a villain to be a short, chubby guy, but I'm taller.
Sorry, I don't have a green skin tight outfit with metal arms.
That's probably a good thing.
Okay.
I don't about the arms, but the skin tight.
Arms.
No, the skin tight green outfit. Some things we just don't need to see.
But
Loki, did he do Loki too?
He did do Loki.
Oh my gosh, it's nonstop.
Yeah,
I love reading this.
Odin. Oh my gosh, Odin was awesome.
Electro.
He's okay.
Sandman. Another Sandman. Mole Man.
Awesome.
Mole Man.
Mole Man. Yeah.
Let's see.
Not really.
Who's that?
Who's
Alistair? Is that someone?
Alistair Smith.
Okay.
Spider Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Ask Sam what he thinks the next Marvel supervillain in terms of a movie. I think he meant to say movies. It says moves. What do you think the next supervillain will be? I think it's got to be Dr. Doom.
Well, I've also heard people are talking about Galactus a lot too in there, but I'm leaning toward Dr. Doom.
You could do Dr. Doom on a smaller scale. You could do Dr. Doom as the villain against like a couple people.
Yeah.
But like Dr. Doom against the whole Avengers team, he's probably not going to do too well considering they're taking on Thanos.
Because after Avengers 4, that'll be the end of Phase 4 of the MCU, and then they're going to start off with a new thing, and hopefully Fantastic Four are right there in the middle of it with Dr. Doom.
We have Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Michael Porson had to say Scorpion, and that's still a sore subject for me because
Scorpion 20.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 20. Scorpion 20.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. I've said this before. I bought that book, Amazing Spider-Man number 20, the first appearance of Scorpion, and I lost it. I still cannot find it, and it's been almost a year, and it's gone.
Maybe we need to do some serious hunting around here.
I believe in the comic book karma, man. That's the only thing. That's probably going to be sitting in Action Comics right next to issue 700 and 702.
I need to let you really seriously know that 2019 is going to be the Bueller year over here, okay?
The year of the Bueller.
He's going to get back his Amazing Spider 20. The comic book world is going to get bigger and bigger.
That'd be cool. Look, there's some other ones in here. Did Lee create Enchantress? Do you know that? That's from Bobby.
I believe so.
Okay, Bobby. Sam said yes, he believes so, so it must be true.
I believe with Jack Kirby.
Green Goblin.
That was Steve Ditko, Stan Lee.
Pasty Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete.
That was Stan Lee.
That's awesome. Let's see. Puppet Master. How about the Lizard?
The Lizard. That was Steve Ditko, Stan Lee.
That's another good one. Love that. Awesome. The Lizard. What's the other guy? Craven.
Craven the Hunter.
Craven.
Steve Ditko, Stan Lee.
I'm trying to think of another guy. People keep saying Thanos.
You can only go so far with
Taskmaster.
No. Taskmaster was. Who was?
Who created Hela?
No, Hela. That was Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Okay, Shocker.
That was Steve Ditko, Stan Lee.
Okay, Beast Man.
Oh no, Shocker was Stan Lee and Romita.
Get it right, Sam.
Okay, what's that one? What's that one?
Beast Man.
Beast Man? No, I think you're thinking of He-Man and Master of the Universe.
Oh yeah, that's from the Great Legend. Way to go, Great Legend.
Beast is from the X-Men, so we know.
Thanos is Jim Starlin. That's right. Yeah.
Everybody trying to test me?
That's right. We're making you work tonight, man. A lot of good stuff.
I'm going to get my sleep tonight.
Luckily, nobody said Wolverine. Or Batman or Superman.
Oh, yeah, we don't need that.
So that's good. But just a ton of them. I sit there and I'm just trying to think in my head of all the characters. And it's nonstop, because it's like, oh, yep, that's another one. That's another one. Here we're listing off one after another.
How about the Mandarin?
There you go.
The Mandarin.
Yes. And who's the guy with the ball, like the disco globe on his head?
Disco globe on his head.
Come on, Sam. I'm just forgetting the guy's name. He's got like the big
this guy over here.
Fish bowl on his head.
Yeah, Mysterio.
I think we said Mysterio. That's right. Yeah.
One of my favorites.
He's got the fish bowl.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Disco
Mysterio.
Ball.
There you go.
Did you say disco ball?
Well, it's a ball. It's shiny. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just learning. So anyway.
How about the Inhumans?
Inhumans. He did those too.
Black Panther. One of the
greatest
he had a movie. I mean,
he did have a movie.
He had a movie.
Some of I heard they're making movies about Marvel characters now.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
They might be popular.
I hear they might go somewhere.
Maybe. I don't know. But just the list goes on and on. And when you think about everything that he did, and literally, and here's the thing, and it's like you said earlier, he set the foundation. So like it's every character that's created from then is somehow indirectly influenced by what Stan Lee made. I mean, Spawn, Todd McFarlane's own creation, is influenced off of Spider-Man or whatever of that, because Todd McFarlane grew up reading Stan Lee comics, and all the creators that are out today somehow indirectly or directly are influenced by Stan Lee. And when I think of I compared it to George Lucas, and I don't think it does it justice, to be honest with you, because George Lucas, his creation is in a bubble. Okay, it's Star Wars. There it is, and obviously he did, Indiana Jones and stuff like that as well. But it's very much in a bubble type thing. And I think that the Marvel universe, or the superhero, which is a superhero, is not just a term for comics. It's a term we use for other things as well.
That's true.
And I think that his is just much more influential than maybe a George Lucas type thing. But I think if you were to put on a pedestal of just creators of our lifetime that have created such an influence, it's literally probably Stan Lee is the number one. And this is not just for comics. This is for stuff in general. Like this is for like Bill Gates, and stuff like that, in general. So I think it's probably Stan Lee. I can't think of someone else who you'd be like, oh, this guy probably did more for the world or whatnot in general than Stan Lee. Yeah. I don't think you could put another name up there. Do you agree? No.
I mean, I've heard two things here in the past week or so here, that Stan Lee, we have the Greek mythology. Well, Stan Lee has kind of really shown us the superhero, like the Marvel superhero mythology, and also I've heard a lot of people comparing him to a Mark Twain, just creative with things that he writes down on paper and stuff. And, so really awesome.
I think so. I can't think of anyone. Walt Disney. That's a great one.
Walt Disney.
That's another one. You know what? I think, that's on the Mount Rushmore of creators. Definitely. I would put that on there. Yeah. And like I said, creators in general, not creators of just comics or, creators in general. I think Walt Disney's probably on that Mount Rushmore as well. Yeah. But also we got a super chat from the great legend, the Bueller and Sam's Tangled Web, live tonight on Comic Core. That's right. We're going to be on Comic Core tonight, both of us. The link is down in the description below for Comic Core's channel. So you can click on that and then put notifications on. Check that out. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight, just in less than a half hour Pacific Standard Time. And then Sam's channel is down below as well. Feel free to check out his YouTube channel. I told him he needs to make another video, and he didn't do it. But maybe he will be influenced to make another video here pretty soon.
Considering the week it's been,
I don't blame. It's kind of rough. And that was the thing. I was planning on doing like my Just the Keys thing for the Flash, and I just didn't feel it, and I still feel heavy, but I feel a little bit better tonight. Yeah, talking with everybody and stuff. And Legend, I don't know if you were here earlier, but now I can put your name on the. And Sam, make sure they can see it. Oh yeah. On the back of the jacket. Yeah, right there. You're gonna go on the super chat jacket along with Robert Galvin and Damon and some other people and stuff. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. We got Jeffrey in here. That's cool. Jeffrey's in here now. I haven't seen him tonight.
Jeffrey Comic-Con.
But I like the Walt Disney. I'm very happy that somebody brought him up as well. Yeah, because he's another creator. So one last thing. So who would you say who do you think, and this is kind of going to stump you because I know this is not an area you're strong with, and maybe someone in the chat could help out. Does DC have an equivalent to a Stan Lee from Marvel?
I keep hearing no. What I've heard.
I mean, is there anyone even close? Because I don't have a lot of DC stuff, and my knowledge really isn't there. But I love DC. I love some of the stuff. But as far as I can't associate a name to some of the characters, because I know like Batman and Superman and stuff like that, and there was always a big hubbub about who created what and people not getting their just dues for that. But is there someone in DC that just has a plethora of characters to put on the list?
Like close to a Stan Lee?
Like even close. I mean, like you said, you guess 600 and some on. I think it's probably quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in DC that's no? We get a lot of no. Bob Kane. That was
yeah.
See, we're sitting here like, okay, we just asked a DC question, and we're not DC guys, but like I know the Great Legend show. He's in here, and he was my guest last week. Carmine something. And Comic G-Man just gave a $5 super chat, so his name is going on the vest. Appreciate that. It says great show, Bueller and Sam, and the Beyond the Blast Doors, they're in here. It says DC has people that create that one, maybe second incredible character. I can't think of him. Kirby went over and did some DC stuff.
Forever people. Commandy.
Yeah. Ron Jeremy. I don't think.
Hey, I think that's a different type of thing.
But anyway, I don't think it's So I think that honestly, the as far as the mountain goes or whatnot, stands on his own. For as far as being ahead and of the comic book industry. I wish that DC had someone like that.
Yeah,
that was just like the head honcho that kind of created multiple things and stuff,
because they were around longer than Marvel.
Yeah.
So you would think that they would have somebody.
And the characters are very deep rooted in lore and stuff like that. So unfortunately, they didn't. Just some great characters. Did you don't read any DC stuff, do you?
I have in the past.
Did you read the new Green Lantern?
Oh no, I don't read any of that stuff.
Look at this guy. Stuff. That's all right. So anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Sam, is there anything we didn't cover that you want to talk about before we can? We're gonna go probably another 5 minutes.
Just wanted to express my feelings, saying thank you, Stan, for creating all these great characters, and I grew up on all this stuff, and it's awesome to see. This past week has been like amazing. Like one thing after another. I see interviews, I see pictures, I see all kinds of things, and showing just how Stan Lee has affected so many lives. It's great. So
I agree. Legend keeps saying Carmine Infantino. Is that you know who that is?
Well, he did a lot of stuff for DC. He did some stuff here and there for Marvel.
Oh, is that why you know him? Because he did some stuff for Marvel?
The stuff he did for Marvel was so good.
Okay, so let's kind of wrap it up, and I'm just kind of gonna give my last things on Stan Lee here. It's the man lived 95 years of his life, and and I had this conversation with my son the other night, and as far as like a meaningful life and stuff like that, and my grandmother, who passed away about 3 years ago.
I had a grandmother who passed away a few months back.
Yeah, and it's rough. And but my grandmother, she lived to be 90 years old. Yeah. And her whole time, she did exactly what she wanted to do. And she was a pastor, and she spread the word across the whole world. She traveled the world and, shared the message of the Lord with people, and whatever your beliefs are, that's your thing, and stuff. But she did she did exactly what she wanted to do. And it wasn't she didn't like see a lot of praise or like a wealth or anything for it. And she lived a very humble life, but every day of her life she did exactly what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I see Stan Lee did.
Yeah.
Stan Lee, obviously a different scenario, and it was very well known and you know, put his name out there and everything. I don't think Stan Lee could ever say I think he lived every day of his life exactly the way he wanted to live it.
Oh, yeah.
And whether it's being the head of a comic book empire or a little known pastor that shares their joy of their religion, you know, it's just great for people to be able to do what they love and love what they do. And unfortunately, we lost one of our founding fathers, the grandfather of our comics this week. Yeah. We all knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And, you know, because like I said, he was 95 years old. But the guy will never be forgotten.
No.
And he's inspired millions of people. And the legend will live on forever.
Definitely.
Which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? And his works are out there. So you can just go get them.
Yeah.
You know, you just go down, get a book, you know, go get a Stan Lee book and read his book. That's one thing about literature or putting something out there. It's there for everybody to go and see and enjoy.
Stands the test of time.
Exactly. So I want to kind of give you guys a quick update. Like I said, we're doing Comic Core tonight at 7:00. That's just in about 20 minutes. I will be doing my coffee episode on Monday, and that will be my coffee episode about Stan Lee. And I put together a little video package type thing that I did. It's like a 3-minute long video package of Stan Lee, and that'll be on that video as well. But that will be on Monday. And really, that's about it. I might do another video for my 50-cent haul this weekend, but that's about all. You got anything else coming up for you?
You know, I'm just hoping to get a video out here pretty soon.
Okay, he's hoping to get a video out here pretty soon.
I'm thinking Sunday or Monday.
Okay, Sunday or Monday. So I want to say thank you to Sam for joining me. This is probably not the last time you will see him because he is local, so it'd be kind of nice.
Right down the street.
Lives right that way.
Is it that way?
Yeah,
okay.
Probably. But I want to say thanks to everybody who showed up tonight and watched. Thank you for everyone who did the super chat. My daughter gave me $1.99.
Awesome.
Awesome. My daughter gave me $1.99 super chat just so she could put her name on the vest.
That's sweet.
Sweetie, I'm gonna put your name on the vest no matter what. So, but thank you so much, everybody who showed up tonight. Hopefully, this made you guys feel a little bit better. You know, like I said, I kind of felt very heavy this week with the loss of Stan Lee. Yeah, this definitely made me feel a little bit better. Definitely just hanging out with you and a fellow comic book enthusiast like myself and all of you people that are joining us tonight. So anyway, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and just have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday or later tonight on the Comic Core in about 15 minutes. All right, guys. Thank you again. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You guys know what to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
I got to press the button.